There we are. Now we're back at the crank. Excuse me. Welcome to the crank world, everybody. Welcome. Hi. What's up, Bleach Nasty? Yo. Nice to be back. Thanks for having me. Thanks for making a place for me a house for me to reside in. It's really nice. It's nice. Trying to feel the best I can possibly feel. It's a quest for everybody. Reporting for duty. It's everybody's quest. It's a holy duty. So, I'm getting ready for Skankfest for the next 4 days. That's exciting. Should be a bunch of laughs with the boys. Should be a bunch of laughs. And I'm just mouth noise. But I'm trying to get to some wild places. Enjoying the news. Anyone enjoying the news? Yo, BC Vol. Thanks for the 3 months, pal. Welcome to the party. Time to get shanked. Yo, Macro, how you doing? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Been into some wild places lately. Anyone into some wild places? What do we start with, the news, or do we start with wild places? I can never make up my mind. And I don't even remember the results of the last consensus. The last census we took. But there have been some good things in my mind lately, which is a good sign. Wild places, wild zone. It's been wild. You know, Vince McMahon is coming on later. And I think we're going to have a good time. He's going to blow his quads out the second he walks in. Welcome. It's been crazy. Been crazy whipping myself up. Getting ready for a crucible. A crucible of 4 days of a stand-up festival is really, really the limit. It's really wild. Quadfather. Oh, that's a good name. Welcome. Welcome to my house that everyone here has built for the sake of my rump, that I may sit and speak. Anyone been thinking of snares lately? Great snares, but what about this? We've been getting into the great snare discussion for a few times now, after I've been getting my mind chipped up by the coiled serpent. Put my mind through a chipper. The wood chipper, you remember that? And I've been really thinking of some of these things in conjunction with this book about Moses. Looked like there were some lessons in here in that book that I've come to enjoy in my later years. Please like the stream. Is that the coiled serpent, rather? That one has been twisting. They've both been twisting my mind a little bit, but the coiled serpent especially. And I was thinking to myself, you know, you've never looked. It's hard to delve into a topic such as the shadows on the wall. You're going to get a lot of different angles for it, and most of them, they're not going to have any density to them. Like the stream. They're not going to have any density to them because I really don't know why. Like the stream. But you're going to get angles that are more worldly, I guess. You get worldly answers these days in the current state of our civilization or culture or society. I'm not so sure we live in a society. People had their jollies with that meme over the years, which I appreciate it. But I'll be honest, I'm not so sure we live in a society. And the shadows on the walls are difficult to define because it's I guess it's military grade beyond the imagination of the consumer. Let me put it that way. as all things that are invisible are. And I appreciate that in regards to, let's say, evolution, the evolutionary model, the environmental factor changes, and then there's some spontaneous level upping within the mitochondria or ribosomes or something like that. I don't know. But allegedly, this world has evolved. And it's interesting to see a common conception. Hold on, let me make sure this thing is on the common conception vibe. Common conception is that in this world, currently, we are essentially at the final stages of evolution, and the animal kingdom has been in its I guess there's no such thing as a final stage. They'll say, oh, yeah, well, you see, the virus of mankind ends up nuking the planet, and you get some, BS out of nowhere. You always get it. That's how it is. But with a modern perspective, I guess you could say that things have upgraded as much as they will. Oh, well, it takes 1,000,000 years for this tadpole fish to get legs. It just keeps on trying, keeps pining for the shore. The tadpole, for millions of years, pines so madly for the shore that the ribosomes start making legs. Don't you love it? Hi, Barbatus, Famullimus, Osapago. Oh, that trio. No, don't get me started. Now, don't ask me why there are still chimpanzees or bonobos on this planet right now, seeing as though they became us. I guess in some spots, the animal kingdom don't pine too much. It don't pine that as much as a tadpole does in the primordial slime. Okay. And you could say, considering the perspective that is given to us with our history, that our culture and our civilization, especially after the Civil Rights Act, is the most advanced civilization known to mankind in history. Wow, okay, sure. Well, let's talk about it. Sure. The founding fathers, this, and everything we learned from the Magna Carta, that, and the wisdom of the pyramids, the wisdom of the mummies, the wisdom. You've seen Dresden, right? See those buildings? You see the World's Fair? You see wonders of the world these days, things that are not possible for this current civilization to build. Not possible. They used horses and chariots if you wanted speed. They used horses, and can you believe they used horses and buggies? Cathedrals with horses and buggies, a few guys with mustaches, fresh out of the Wild West. Dude. Anyway, so we can assume, based on our history that's given to us, that's prescribed to us by the doctors of civilization, that we are in the most advanced state. Look, we all know what the basis is in this advanced state, though the similar cons still plague the populace to this day. The same ones for many years, and hey, don't even get me started on the timeline. I have no idea. Sip it. So this is the most advanced place, mainly because of I guess, I don't know. I think what I really do, it wasn't actually a joke. I think what people would put in a time capsule to send it to the moon and prove that this is the most advanced civilization is probably because of the Civil Rights Act of 19 whoop-de-doo. That's really going to be, or if not already is, the crowning achievement of the civilizational progress throughout the millennia. And also the open expression of hitherto closeted sacred a sacred closet. There's been a certain types of sexual expression or rather gender expression. I know gender's for plants and we're mammals. I get that. But when it comes to, let's say, if you're mixing language, extra normal, extraordinary language constructs attached to your identity, then it's going to be a sort of a genderistic, genderissimo. You be a plant man with blue blood. I think those are going to be heralded soon, if not already, as the two crowning achievements of the civilization and the proof that we are the most advanced. I'll put that forth. Plant man. It's okay. Okay, sure, fine, let's do it. You know what my answer to that is? Yes. Let's do it. Ochi, yo, what's up? Okay, yes. You're telling me then that what you see right now is what you get? This is the apogee, the absolute top of mankind's final form? What you see around you these days? I mean, I know there's excuses for everything. Politicians, their job and their role is to create rhetorically and socially impenetrable arguments and excuses for why the way things are. That is their role. That is their job. Good. Okay, sure. This is the best we're going to get in this world. You see what's happening. Need I even say? We could go on about it forever. Let's Roadhead, Road Sodas, Gambo. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Remember Bruce Wayne trying to show the Joker what getting nuts was all about? I mean, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen Batman do. He's showing the Joker a thing or two about getting nuts. Wow, that hit. Even as a kid, that hit me. It's like freaking. I got beaten with pillows, so there were no marks. Beaten in the mind, there were no marks. Need I do another one? There were no marks. Sounds like a good song, honestly, or a good kind of a paragraph of something, doesn't it? You could go there. It's a little bit of a shorthand here that I'm doing. Ooh, I like that one. Remember that one. It's called There Were No Marks. So, this civilization that we're currently enjoying right now, we could have a litany of all different kinds of quality of life that we've been enjoying over the years. But I don't want to get caught in some sort of a loop. So this is the best we can get, huh? People can do whatever. And anything goes. The name of the game of being on the game is anything goes. Kind of the credo of this current year. I don't know. Maybe it's changing. I don't know. Who knows? Probably an election coming. Whoa. The year you can define this culture Let's get a few more things we can agree upon. Because I when it comes to this, I like saying yes, because that's how you get to things. You want to get to some stuff, you don't take it off the table. You want to get to some things, you say yes. You don't say no. You ride it, no matter what kind of a beast it is. I'm saying, if you want to get somewhere that's nuts, like Bruce Wayne showing the Joker how nuts is, pretty ballsy. This is as good as it gets. The only it's the only industrial scale. Like I don't even know what to call it. I struggle to call it a quality of life improvement. But the main tenets, the foundation of this civilization in regards to esteem and generally defined happiness is the accumulation of material wealth, money, assets. What else is there? Primarily speaking, that's really it. I think that's also something a lot of us can say yes on. Even if you're going to blame all the wars and all the turmoil of the people on greed, if you're going to pull that one out, let's not do that right now. But what I'm saying, it is perhaps the most prime mover, prime motivator in it's hard, it's instinctual now, it's socially instinctual. You go to other places, people got beads, they got rings in their nose, they got a plate in their lip. I'm not so sure. Well, I mean, who am I to define what is an inherent trait that one possesses before they are confined, either confined or are polluted? Who am I? Did that pick up? I hope. Prime motivator of this civilization is material wealth. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm only just saying yes. The primary motivator, though, that I think is even more primary, and is the prime mover. Money and material would have to be two. The prime mover is sex, sex energy, sex respect, sex. I don't know, whatever the game guys call it. They're like, you give them the Spider-Man, and you beat them till they're almost dead, and then they love you for it. Like this, reading it. I'm gonna have to try that. Shot, it's crazy. Please like the stream or it's curtains. So the prime mover, the prime directive of this world is motivated primarily with sex. But your prestige, and hey, what other words do you want me to use? Fake pseudo prestige? I don't know. Is based primarily on material gathering, accruing, accruement. And that is because the spiritual just doesn't get any respect. A lot of elders, a lot of learned legends over the year, and a bunch of people in chat and people that are learned, and I don't know. I try not to let. I don't have any room left in my head for anything. I'm like, I try not to know anything else. Our beings are somewhat triunical in nature. A bit of a triune. of whatever those are. I don't know, like the mind, the freaking body, and the spirit. What else would there be? Is one of them the dick? Is one of them genitals? You could just go quad uni. It's not though. Body, mind, and spirit. If you want to think along Captain Planet terms, okay, which I am not above. Clearly, bit of a triune. And I say, when things are off balance, the machine becomes inefficient to the point of becoming a sort of a Frankenstein. Civilization or culture or society, whatever you want to call it, just has had most of its spirituality stripped from it. And that is an automatic process at the beginning. Now it's a sort of a steamroller to remove any positive spiritual elements. It's usually automatic with the hyper reliance on sex and material. You could define this as anything. You could define it as the way it is. You could define it as look how far we've fallen. You could define it as look how dumb the populace are. They're just bums. Look at how dumb. And hey, I would agree in a lot of cases. You could say that. You could say anything. Oh, it's just imbalance and things will correct itself, or you make up for it in other ways, or not. I don't know. Just excuses, but never a focused analysis on a practical application of an esoteric truth. Buh. And if these things are required for, they are certainly in balance, required for evolution, I would put forth. There are things holding mankind back that are beyond the normal comprehension. You make things float, you make things go up, you make things disappear, you make things invisible, or you diminish people's capability of noticing those things. There's a lot of, well, there's only a few ways to do it, and they're all being done. These things, a balance, a logical mind and a wise mind, I would presume, would define these things as inherently true. I'll just put that forth. I mean, you can argue about history, or we live in a society. You could argue on those grounds. You can get nowhere for your whole life, just as everyone, just generations previous have gone nowhere with the rhetoric, with allowable rhetoric. And it's not that this rhetoric is unallowable, but it is a kind of a different road. It's a sort of a different road, but it makes the difference. These things are out of balance, then there can be no progress. Progress has been a bit redefined during our lifetime to mean mainly civil rights stuff, pretty much. I mean, what else does it mean? It used to have other meanings, but it doesn't anymore. Without any balance in the spiritual, without any even cognizance of it, I would say the majority of people, what do I know though? Without that, how can there be a truly functioning expression of humanity, of mankind, of womanhood, anything at all, horsehood, anything at all. With one of these things, it's just like Zelda. Isn't it? What do we got? The Triforces, right? Wisdom, courage, and power, right? Hey, if you only got power, you turn into a pig man trying to kill the evil witch Zelda. So anyway, this culture is allegedly maxed out in regards to evolution. And we're seeing that proof in the extra evolutionary spirit that we're entering right now of transhumanism, and with machines, computers, and machines, the merging, the enticement of the merging of mankind with machines for one reason or another. There's too much methane in the air. You gotta merge with one of the mask from Deus Ex. Well, you see, due to the deeds of your ancestors, you have to slip into this pod because the sun is too strong during the summer. Or so. I'm just saying, make it up. Make it up. Wow. Make it up. Please like the stream. I guess this is the top. And in order that since we've already solved evolution, the evidence being the step over to transhumanism and implanted things and this and that, I don't know, whatever, this stuff. Apparently, the case is closed on evolution. The verdict is in the case of evolution. Apparently, mankind is maxed out. Now we go to machines. Well, we're not going to machines, we're being led to machines, whatever. We solved it, we're as good as we can get. Now that, you see the mores of today. There's a bit of sexualization in the youth, I would say. Happens a lot in schools and such. Movies, music, TV, schools. Things get a little bit sexy these days. I guess we're just progressive. So, we are maxed out as a culture. We are maxed out as a species, as a civilization. Isn't that incredible? We're maxed out. Isn't that nice to know? Well, what happens though? How do you rebalance? Well, it's just some of the triune thing that we were dabbling a little bit about, getting sort of Zeldonic on it. Apparently we're maxed out, but how do you fix it? I don't know. Well, I know, we'll talk about it, but I would say, only pose a question, do we live in nut world? Do we live in nut world? Where the height of civilization is you get your nut? If it's not, you could fool me, considering what you see in music. And when you really sit down and think of how pervasive and hypnotic and just so boilerplate, so standardized, the hypersexuality and an imbalance in what makes us human, those three things put forth, mind, body, spirit, you can only get one bigger when one gets smaller. Let me put it that way. So the adherence in the definition of happiness and success at all comes specifically, totally, without fail, the most people, comes from sex with a body or material gain. I don't know which one's body and mind. Who cares? Foot. There's a fourth one. Feet. The civilization is overachieving in achievements, achievements of the mind and of the body, sexual expression, and intellectual achievements. That's how you define your success. No more spiritual. So I would put forth right there. This is so big of an issue, a permanent imbalance in what makes us human at a time when it is promised that this is the height of civilization and culture and society in the history of the world. It makes it a big problem. It makes it a shadow on the wall grade issue. When you see how big of a problem it is, you can finally understand what a shadow on the wall really, truly is and how it works. It's not, you make little dog things on the wall. It's you hide things so completely and you beat things out so completely out of people's consciousness so thoroughly where it degrades their humanity. And it downgrades their existence to the animal kingdom of the animals of the jungle. Put that forth. Why not? We're talking big things. Let's do it. Bruce Wayne said to the Joker, in regards to sex and what it means to be a human, this civilization, it defines it as you get your nut however, wherever you need it. How do you want it? How do you need it? What'll it be? That defines your humanity. You see, that's a red flag. When you put it that way, that's a red flag. We could talk about material and intellectual pursuits, all of us, which all of us participate in. But the main one, because I would put forth the accumulation of material wealth and renown must be rooted in sex energy or sexual expression or impressing people. It's a primal thing. That's why it is predominant in all of the ways that men and women can be controlled invisibly. And why sex transmutation and sex magic, but I don't like to talking about or even saying it. It's nasty. That's why these things are practiced. Because they are effective and the most effective in getting the job done, which is to degrade humanity and bring everyone in the party to hell with everybody else, with the rulers. I would put forth that old wager, the old spiritual war. Put that forth. Like the stream, please. Oh, shiach! I'll put that forth. So sex is predominant out of all of the controllers. And if everything has been stripped out of the spiritual, it's all going to sex and material. It can just go to sex and everything flows out of it naturally. Commercials and the accumulation of these things, these beautiful things, or this or that. You get it. You've watched movies, music, everything your whole life. But if you have a culture and a people that the spirituality has been completely stripped out, it's so thoroughly dehumanizing, it's beyond, it goes over your head because it is a shadow on the wall that it goes over your head. You'll never be thinking about it in proper terms of a unification, the unification that is required to actually, for real, evolve a civilization, or to even define it in the first place. I like that. That's why everything is sex. Sex sells. Everything. And in that, the worship and the spiritual exertion has been rerouted from the proper spiritual stuff into sex and perhaps the worship of toys, or the idolization of your possessions, the idolization of them. It's hard to tell. It's hard to know for most people if they are idolizing something for real. Because just like with everything, no one believes it can happen to them. Just like anything at all. You don't understand it. Yo, good horse, what's up? You don't understand it. And it's been rerouted. The worship and spiritual progress and expression, excuse me, has been rerouted mostly into, I mean, like, you see it. You see the war machine. Sex-driven music, movies, TV, pornography, sexualization of the youth. I mean, you can go on forever. I'm not trying to be a priest here. Those things can only grow. I would put forth that those things can only grow with the same energy required to properly spiritually. I don't know how to say it. Emote. I don't know. Execute. I don't know what. I have only just silly, this like kindergarten words to describe it right now. That's why the sacred prostitute and the sex at the temple is a spiritual and religious institution. Because that energy required is used against you, unbeknownst. Or is accumulated in some, I don't know, weird stuff. I don't want to talk about that stuff. Isn't that, I don't know, I've just been thinking about that. Because no one ever puts it in the proper perspective. Ever. Is a man yet? Is a man a beast? Is a man if he is unable to control his appetites? Just interesting. Never usually think it in a perspective that biggish, I would put forth. You want to know why you're treated or you're defined as cattle? There's your answer. Well, I mean, the cattle masters are cattle themselves, of course. The ranchers. So it's not exactly apropos. But you get the idea. Like the stream, please. Put that forth. And I've been enjoying those ideas, and because I don't usually get to any philosophy or any of even the classics of philosophy. I'm like, I'll pick it up when I want to take a nap. So, can this even be called a civilization? Can men that are not in 100% complete control of their appetites and their energy what are they then? What of them? Depends how you define man and woman. It depends how you define an image of God, or the image of God. Depends how you define that. Depends how small you see yourself or how big you see yourself. Not as in pride, but as in the value of a soul and the value of living well. Just some things to think about. Just some things to think about. Because you get definitions galore everywhere. You know, I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever. I'll use this room if I say I'm that. You guys get the game. You guys get the game. Is that why humans or human? Is that why it was defined as monster in Black's dictionary? The first edition? We could look that up. I don't want to get sidetracked. I'm trying to stay focused. I can't handle that. I can't handle doing that. Looking something up right now? Nah. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. But people don't usually see those things as big. We've gotten into it in the past. We'll get into it again. Doing something that is evil in the sight of the Lord, I will just put it in those terms. Doing something that is an abomination to the Creator, those ideas, those concepts, conceptual ideas, those things are not they're not given a lot of weight. They're given the brush off. What does it mean? I'll ask again. What is the purification required to be in the presence of the Lord? I maybe I asked that last time, or I wanted to. I don't remember. I got nowhere with it. I have to say it. It's not an easy question to ask, but it is a question of quality, and the answer to which will lead you down a path. A path. That's all. It's in asking the right questions that you can get anywhere fruitful at all. Wrong questions, the wrong presuppositions, whatever rhetorical traps those are called, whatever, bona fides. Maybe we do well at doing some logic, doing some trivium. So I'll say, it's usually a small thing in the minds of most people. But if you consider, at least in the sacred texts, that those who were not properly ritually purified, what of ritual purification? Again, another thing that's been lost with the deletion of the spiritual side of mankind completely. Anything ritual on your end. Of course, all the rulers, our dear rulers, are doing their rituals of a bathhouse, leather joint. Our rituals are gone. They're deleted. Where is the need for? Where are the questions about what is the purpose? What is the benefit of? These are big questions of ritual purification. I know that ritual purification is required to be in the presence of the Lord, and I think that's a scary thought. I'll just say that. That's a scary thought. You know, in what's it, Leviticus? You know, when you touch whatever those, you know, those books. I forget, Pentateuch. I forget which ones. Mosaic hops. You touch a dead body and you're unclean for 2 days, or if a woman's on the cycle or something, it's like unclean, and they go in a tent or something. I don't know. And or if you, I don't know, you have sex, you're ritually unclean for 24 hours or something. You can't, if you if you commit some of the, and there's many examples and way better, Deuteronomy. And if you were ever to be committing those things and you approach the tabernacle in the house that was built, allegedly in those times, you would be killed. See, to me, that's interesting. To me, that is, the word awe has lost its meaning. Awful has lost its meaning. And it's not a thing where that's cool, something that's so powerful it can just incinerate you. And it's not about that. It's about what is required to evolve. It's about to become completely ritually pure in the quest to not evolve into a god, but to be at the fullest expression of what you are built of. And hey, for all I know, one half bonobo, one half pig. Wow, that's great. Something out of Full Metal Alchemist. And I'm not trying to diminish these things or do the other side advocate like that. Just trying to keep things grounded in nightmares. Choco. Anyone remember where that's from? So I would say the quest to be at your fullest expression, the ultimate quest of any sane man or woman, to be at one's best, to be at one's best life, to be best life. Remember him? To be at the fullest expression. Now, the fullest expression is deleted from your consciousness due to the degeneration of the triune of our civilization. But the requirement of ritual purification in an effort to be properly humbled and contrite. I don't know what you want me to say. It's difficult to define a state of being receptive to these ritual things or spiritual things, because everything in our society or civilization is defined by sex, is defined by, nut world, nutty light. You know what I'm saying? Nutty load. It's all defined by that completely. Because again, why is everyone accumulating the rich stuff? It's primarily to attract a mate. I don't mean to put it in those terms, but I did. So I still will reiterate that sex is at the number one. It defines in our civilization right now, it defines everything. Certain states are required to be receptive to these things because they're so alien to the modern intellect. Like the stream? How are you? I'll say that. It's crazy. So, what sort of? Well, that's another question. What sort of purification is required to be in the presence of God? That's another question. But it did kind of bring us somewhere. It gave us a reason for something that was attached, tethered to something way bigger than what a normie is going to be thinking about their destiny or their capabilities. You remember what Carl Sagan said, and Einstein, and Mr. Wheelchair, Translator, Gargoyle, and all of these people, the space people, we're just nothing in an endless ocean of worlds like grains of sand on a beach that goes on for 1 trillion miles. Like it's crazy. It's witchcraft. That is witchcraft. Repeating that, swearing by it, inseminating it inside of a curriculum, idolizing it is worshiping it. That's witchcraft. I'll just say it. Those are shadows on the wall. Things that are, they blind you. They blind you. And being blinded, as in whatever Satan has blinded those who will not see, or something, whatever that is, where it's in. If you want to get to real definitions of that, like snares and of shadows on the wall, of being blinded, is something, again, that is almost impossible to define in modern parlance and modern intellect. These things go beyond regular definition. That's why they've got like a charge on them that zaps you when you try to think or talk about it, because they make things have no meaning. Words have no meaning. Negation. Chalky. They negate the meanings of things by constant repetition. I will say, it's toasty in here. Where does it leave everybody if you're hardly even in a civilization? By these definitions of our capabilities, and how, what am I going to do? Talk about using faith or moving mountains or walking on water? I mean, what am I going to say about that? It's beyond my whatever. But the real, whatever the fruits are of the spiritual, they've been completely removed and co-opted. I'll just say it again. But what is the point? That's the point. Chalky. Guess I'll just boil it down. Trying to get to something even bigger, but we've gotten to some biggish things. A snare or a shadow on the wall, called a shadow. I have a practical definition. A shadow on the wall is a system of hiding your potentiality from the people, so they think they're small and insignificant. A shadow on the wall isn't just illusion of Project Bluebeam or politicians. It's just a shadow on the wall. The real people, the Rothschilds and this and that. I'm like, oh yeah. A shadow is bigger than a family. A shadow is bigger than a people. Shadow of the hegemon. Project Beanbag. Remember that one? So I'll just put that forth. It's a scary thought. It's the basis of our current society, is the promotion of sex and material and intellectual pursuits. It's a bit scary. It's a bit big. It's a problem so big, you can't solve it with conventional means. It's a problem so big that politicians have jobs to make excuses and to hide those shadows. Hey, whatever. You guys get it by now. Excuse me. My pedal's not working. You guys get it by now. It's like chalky. What's everyone think about that, huh? I'll make laws. Remember my laws, 1 through 4 or 5? I hope someone does, because I don't. I'll define the shadows on the wall. Fine. We'll do it. I'll define one of the great snares of sex. Not even of sex, because it's too big. The snare of suffering a sorcerer to live. Because sex isn't, I wouldn't exactly say it's a snare. Just all the wrong promotion of it makes it so snare-like in this world, as you see from like Puff Daddy. That the world of control in the bathhouse echelons of our celebrity bathhouse, it's controlled specifically, strictly with sex. So the way society grooms the improper conceptualization and execution of sex in you since the day you're born. In that way, it is a snare, but inherently, it is the prime mover. And the energy required to do spiritual work and look, I don't have, what am I going to say? I did what I'm talking about for the last few weeks, and I was walking on water a few days ago. I'm not saying that. These are just ideas. These are ideas of limitation, ideas of hideous limitation. A hideously limited life is a stolen birthright. Birthright, you say? That's another big one that's absolutely meaningless. What's that? Yeah, your dad left you a car. Or Esau got a soup of beans. Or Jacob got, I don't know, the people and land. I don't know what it means. I don't pretend. I'm not just sitting here making jokes. And perhaps it's a bit contrary even to the philosophies and the histories of the past great men of civilization. They were a bit nutty. They were always with, well, temple prostitutes. You know what those are, right? They're not just, well, they're a bit augmented, I would say. They are more highly evolved humanity, the temple prostitutes of the day and of today also. Anyway, I don't want to go nowhere. I'm just trying to learn how sexual energy is primarily for spiritual fuel and not for just nutty, It's not just for the orgasm girls and, nutty heaters. You get what I'm saying? Is that life? And that's been spoken about before. Just the whole semen retention of Kundalini and uh, all that stuff. Like I can't even fit it in my head. Like all that stuff, I resist. There's a lot of ideas that I do resist, and maybe I shouldn't resist anything. Let everything inside of me. Excuse me. Just like something like the Christ is a metaphor for Kundalini and vertebra and semen retention and rerouting sexual energy. Like that seems crazy to me. It's something I inherently resist as like an unclean proposition. That's all. That I've just given it to you how I feel. That's all. Feels unclean and not good, and I don't like it. It doesn't mean I'm just saying. Just like saint adoration or Mary adoration. And I love religion even more than I did a month ago. Like I appreciate it, but there are things that are so antithetical to the religion itself, as from what we know from the gospel. It's straight up crazy to me that they're practiced. But I still say I just enjoy a lot of the Orthodox studying that I've been doing. But it's just some of the stuff it just seems so crazy to me to be doing. It's crazy to me. So anyway, whatever I was saying before that, my he's gonna melt. Toasting my nads in here. I am just just like everybody here, trying to learn what is, and I haven't been getting far in that book, Coiled Serpent. I read through a page, I'm like, I read a page at a time. I'm like, it's just staggering to me. You get the wisdom in the language of the elders. You get the wisdom from the elders, and even from the commandments, etc., etc., etc. You can go through all of this and how it applies specifically to these shadows and how they're allowed to be hidden. But the language is corrupted, and the teaching of it is corrupted. But anyway, I just know that sexual energy isn't there to go nowhere or just to make your balls blue or to make a woman put on pointy shoes. Okay? It's not there just for those two things. It can't be. Therefore, it's for the spiritual. Is it a spiritual act to retain that? Is the energy consumed in some other way in your body or expended some other way? I don't know. I just know that at the foundation of it, the absolute mastery of one's appetite is the only definition of a living man or woman. Anything else is technically subhuman. Isn't that nice? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. What do you think about that? Like the stream? Please. What do you think about that? So, anyway, it's shocking. In this culture, you're going to sound like a wacko for that sort of thing. You'll be called a wacko or be seen as a wacko even by people that are highly intelligent. They don't see shadows. They have no compunction to root them out. Truffle hunter. So, that's the problem with shadows and snares. They're over most people's heads. That's why you get nowhere with them. That's why they're not even spoken of anymore. Of course, the education and society was intentionally degraded in order to obfuscate these things. And the paths, and I mean, you know how it works. It's too big of a picture to put together. I'm trying to put these things together. I just cannot believe it. I still can't believe it. Now listen, let me ask you something. Do we like these deep dives and continue to go somewhere? I don't know if I peter out, it'll be pretty evident. Do we like these dives? The news isn't exactly my favorite today. We could do some scrolling. It's not my favorite. Or I could just try to expound upon something that we've been talking about. But I don't want to beat a dead billy goat. How do I do a poll? Watch this. Did it work? See, if computers were well and they were actually a net positive to your life, just typing P would bring poll up. You think I'm joking? Go ahead. Think I'm joking. Deep dive, let that go while we read some things. Alec Rawson, thanks for the 15 bones, pal. Hey, Charles, you should check out Psalms chapter 18, verse 37 through 45. If you have a sec, it always gets me pumped up. That sounds good. Break out the brave. Let me do this. 18. 40. Steel reserve. This better be the right one. I'll keep that in there just for kicks. Excuse? Thanks for that, pal. Hunter Mars, thanks for the membership. Osbun, yo, thanks for the $17.77. How could we be let into heaven if we can't stop ourselves from rapping the angels? Isn't that crazy? You see? That's an even better. It just depends how you put it. It works for different people. Presence in the sight of the Lord was a powerful thing for me because it's just a powerful thing in words that I cannot express. And this is another one, let into heaven. People don't think of that. They're like, you die and I don't know what people think about these days anymore. back when we were highly evolved beings, ritual and spirituality was most certainly intertwined with daily life. Biatch. Daily life, just as sex is interwoven and material gain is interwoven in daily life, it's really not very hard to wrap your head around, right? Everyone lives it. Well, guess what? The spirituality and the worship or glorification of the divine was also a daily institution of a more highly advanced mankind. Maybe it's kind of hard to conceptualize because it's been stripped out, but there's proof right there. It's not hard to see how it's been driven by the mind and the body. And it's irrefutable that none of it is driven by the spirit, or perhaps an abomination of mind and body cultivates a possessed spirit, and all of it is spiritual. Just as is defined the spiritual war, principalities and powers. Excuse me, click, crickets in my mouth. Perhaps all of it is spiritual. So, that's an even scarier thought. Well, I'll put that forth. Yo, Tim Tabub TBMNKY Tabibminky. Thanks for the 50 bones, pal. Really appreciate it. Thou shalt not conjure graven images. Been enjoying what you've been talking about. Next sandwiches on me. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. How much time a day do you dedicate to reading? I don't exactly know. It feels like I've been reading a lot, though haven't been. I've been reading a lot lately. I've been thinking a lot and reading a lot. But my time is still a bit inefficient, so I'm not doing as much or feel like I'm doing blah, blah, blah. Thanks for that. But I've been reading quite a bit. I've been reading Walking with Moses. I've been doing this one, right. I've really been enjoying this. The early history stuff doesn't really, some of it is kind of slow, but the lessons I really find is I'm looking for connections to the spiritual, and I'm not looking for new agey things. I'm looking for established stuff, and also the coiled serpents. Coiled serpent's really been. I mean, still, like, what's it been, a week or something? What page? It's just been making me crazy. Page 4. I got 4 pages. It's just. I mean, it's not. It's not a lot. The margins are wide, and the word count isn't too big. It's just so dense and in epiphany, in a path to apotheosis. I just didn't know. No one has ever given a reason. They're like, it's just good. I don't know. You know all that stuff. All that. You go to Jim Carrey if you want that. The tantric stuff. Yeah, you're still nutty light, but there's no fluid. I'm like this. Wow, that sounds fun. Doing Kabbalah, all different kinds of Kabbalah stuff during sex. That sounds like so much fun. Honestly, Jim Carrey. That sounds like a lot of fun. No, hell, this could be the key to apotheosis. I have no idea. I'm just saying it's weird. But maybe these are the secret teachings of the ages. I have no idea. Anyway, JB's World, thanks for the 2 bones, pal. Ash will fly, thanks for the 5 bones, pal. Hey. Levitical laws were enforced due to having gone through times like these. Is that when? I'm not really sure. I don't remember. I read it in Kuwait. I'd have to pull it out right now. The only thing I remember, well, there's a few things I remember, but contaminated fabrics I love the most. But I'm kind of a lot, I don't know. I've been evolving a little bit more since, a year and a half ago, whatever. I don't even know when's when. Like, I don't even know when's when. Anyway, let me look up here for a second. Bildad. What's this? Steel ain't dead. What's up, Steel? Thanks for the 15 bones. He's using the link in the description. That's really nice. What's up, Charles? How's it hanging? You got anything good to say about the last tragedian? The modern Shakespeare, Vince McMahon. 30 years of one continuous episodic play. New Netflix documentary about him, about to bury him like The Undertaker. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Again, it seems like the snares. No, I hear you. It's fun to talk about. We can talk about it. It's always good to talk about. But you know what I mean? Even the Puff Daddy stuff, the snare sex stuff is still distracting you from things that really wreck quality of life. What you're supposed to worry about what celebrities do to each other, initiated brothers and sisters, what they do to each other. What do you? Now look, I have compassion. I've got empathy and all that. You know, trust me. You know, I'm a bit much. But don't sit here and ask me to worry about what celebrities are doing to each other. Straight up. Because without them, there would be peace on the earth. Generally speaking, that's a huge tool. Anyway, again, it's thinking about sex. The snare of always thinking about sex in the wrong ways. The right ways, I don't know. We could define it, but I don't want to. Oh, what did the poll say? Deeper? Okay, we can go deeper. The snare of running abominations in your mind. We've gone through this road before, haven't we? And that's I. No one can handle it. Any sane person. I mean, I'm through the other side, so I can enjoy atrocity in ways that are befitting of a dunce cap wearing dancing jester. That's okay. That's just a particular achievement of mine that you that you get awarded when you get tortured enough. Anyway, but most people's empathy and projectors in their brain work at not exactly materializing, but creating a scene in the mind of that wicked abomination, which makes you, in some ways, a participant in it, in a witchcraft way that I don't know how to define. I'm just throwing it out there because I feel that it is true. So that's we could talk about Diddy. We could talk about Get Yours. We could play the tape. He's having a certain type of act with another man. Anyway, I like to laugh about it, and I mean, I enjoy. I watch. I'll put on cruising right now. I'm saying I have a divine sense of mirth when it comes to this stuff, and I'm not divine. I'm saying just a blessed way of wading through atrocity and making light of it or seeing it as funny. That's what I mean by that. And there are scenes, and I would never, that's one reason why I don't talk about certain things. I would never allow people to have a scene of such abomination dictated by me. I would never allow myself to put that sort of spell forth. I don't mind it though, but I don't. Things that'll really make people feel bad. That's why we're not lightning like that. A lot of people, you see it. It's a bit sickening, honestly. You see all the people that watched, all the people that were in this Twitch in 2017, and all the people that this and that, or even new people, whatever. You can make a lot of money if you are a newscaster of abomination out of Hollywood. You could make a lot of money. And that's fine. I do it in my own way. It's a way that doesn't make a lot of money, but it's fun and is proactive, is a net positive, in my opinion. But other people just report on abomination and get everyone to, I don't know, shed tears for some guy saying, okay, I'll do it, writing in blood, doing all these sort of weird things. And now bang my butt. You're supposed to, I'm like this, I'm crying. Oh, the humanity. Can't believe that happened to that man. He's like this. Yes, I want this. I swear to the devil, I need that. You know what I mean? Like they're but so blah, 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 writing in blood, doing all this stuff, doing all these sigils. Guys are beating off, charging sigils. Oh. I'm supposed to feel bad for that ilk. Get out of my face. Get out of my face with that stuff. So one of them's got ashes on his forehead. Yeah. Dude, these people do things that if you knew, you would be finding them and saying hi to them. If you knew. Anyway, I don't want to sound weird, but let me put it this way. I'm not going to feel bad for, and I'm not going to define, try not to charge my language with any negativity. I don't go to Hollywood celebrities for my empathy or my education or for anything at all, really. I go, I guess I go to them when I want to watch a movie or something like that. I don't want to hear someone talk about politics, some golem from Hollywood. Well, you guys get it, but I don't. We can laugh about Hollywood forever till the cows, whatever. I'm just saying, it is part of a snare to be obsessed with sex. Sex isn't the snare, the obsession with sex is the snare. And even if people are fighting the good fight, getting the word out, yeah, Tom Hanks and his one red shoe. You'll remember this in a few years when he's finally arrested and executed with a military tribunal. And you'll look back at these tweets and see that that's how people should look. You guys get what I'm saying? Yeah, Diddy was doing this and that. It looks like there's a whole lot of careers about to fall like a house of cards, yo. Yeah, I bet. The only house of cards that falls is yours, with taxes and inflation, the price of groceries, all of this nickel and diming fees and all that stuff. Who knows what's that's the house? Are you kidding me? You guys get what I'm saying? This is a cycle too. These guys got roles. They got hanged man roles and all that stuff. They're probably worshiping Apollo or something. Now Diddy goes down. He's like the black sun. He goes down in November or something like that. You know, they're for the court magicians doing they're doing gambo, sorcery. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think things are weird. The reason when things are done are weird. Anyway, I'm not here to obsess about abomination, though I have an obsession with abomination. Because abomination is so insane, you have to go all the way. It is the final joke in this world. Is making horror digestible. I'm not trying. I don't know. I'm trying to. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Honestly, we've been going for a while with this. Now I need some chalky. Uh, I would say that's why we've always tried to get down to brass tacks. You cannot get down to brass tacks unless you realize that there is no evolution in our civilization without the balance of the triune. Okay. And these agents that most people obsess about in the news cycle are agents of the imbalance. They route your precious clock cycles, your precious seconds, a second in which you can completely do something totally different. I could get up right now and walk into the street and get hit by a car if I wanted to. I'm just saying, you can. I could never smoke again for the rest of my life. I'm just saying, you are capable of the extremity spiritually. And I know these are just silly examples, but you get what I'm saying. Why not? I'm saying things that are like insanely easy to do. I guess those are the examples that I'm pulling out. You know, something hard, spiritually hard to do would be like abstinence for the rest of your life or quit this or that. I could say that, but it's technically easier to run out and get hit by a car. You know what I'm saying? It's just your spiritual faculties are hijacked. Therefore, insane things are easier to do than sane things, okay? You want to get to something? Do you want to get nuts? What do you think about that one? Jonathan, bad time to nap. You hear what I just said? Bad time to nap. Have a nice nap. I napped today. I napped for 8 hours in the middle of the day. Where am I? Did that cut out? Vigilante. Levitical. Levi. Leviathan. What does it mean? Vigilante. Thanks for the membership, pal. Orthodox. Phronesis. Thanks for the sawbuck, pal. Have you heard of the YouTube channel Authonite Audio? It's a gold mine. No, it sounds good. Excuse me. That sounds good. Thanks. Sock. Burner. Thanks to 10 bones, pal. Hey, Charles. Thanks for sharing your thoughts with us. Your vids have helped me a lot, man. Hey, thanks for that, pal. Family and friends are so important, but all we have in this world that is certain is God and our prayers. I hear you, man. I hear you. When it's your time to go, your soul departs. It's only you. It's only you and your own prayers and the prayers of your friends and family. It's a crazy thought. I got a book in there, Departure of the Soul. It's like this. I opened it up and it started saying something about toll horses, toll houses, like something out of Coda, Star Trek Voyager. And I had to put it away. I was oh my God, I'll turn into a horse. Smitty! Thanks for the sawbuck, pal. Or is it a finback? Buck! Pixelanti, thanks for the 10 bones, pal. Hey, what's up, man? Wish I had that show recorded that you were at. It was so good. Just wasn't. I should have used my field recorder. Why'd I buy it? You might ask me. Don't. So anyway, that's a scary thought. It's a powerful thought, the departure of the soul. I don't even want to think about it. But it's those snares. It's a spiritual acumen. It's completely lost. That's why these things are so alien. I don't know where else to go with it. Something like, it's always good to check this shit out, you know. Nah, it's another topic, I guess. We could do some of the news. Oh, yeah, just do some of this. Just think if we got into anything. Oh, I mean, we went pretty hardcore with this. Oh, Psycho Anon, thanks for the $10. Hey, Charles, did you see the new Dragon Age game? Has top surgery scars and the character customization. That's beautiful. That's evolution. Now you know the tadpoles that were pining for the shore so greatly that feet started to flip around. And you remember that animation? Remember the evolution animation? Is it even possible to find it? Sad. Oh, I think I got it. Wow, this is sad. What's happening to me right now? Can I play? Can I even play a video? Dude. Well, anyway. Remember the evolution of whales video? Remember that one? Well, why would I want to play the video? So, I mean, hey, that's evolution for you. Now you see the state of evolution in this world. That's God's image and in its final form. Isn't that amazing? Okay, very grim. Grim. God bless you and your family. Hey, thanks. Thanks also for the guy in chat who recommended King Warrior Magician Lover. Reading it right now, and it's awesome. The classic. Yeah. It's a sad story. The man that was working on such profound spiritual wisdom on the divine feminine and the divine masculine, so profound that he ended up in a murder-suicide. That's how it happened with him. That's the guy that wrote the book. That's how he went out when he was getting deep into the archetypes of the divine feminine and divine masculine. Isn't that nice? He shot his wife and then killed himself with his non-dominant hand. Interesting, kind of interesting, kind of interesting. Many such cases. Guess what? No one cares. That's the worst part about it is that you can bring such wisdom to the table. You can change so many lives, but if that happens to you, nobody even knows and nobody cares. Crazy, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, that book is a life changer. That book is a life changer. Beyond. Okay. Eclipse, thanks for the 10 bones, pal. Love the wisdom you have been sharing this stream. Grateful for you, brother. Really appreciate that. Thanks for noticing. Please like the stream if you notice. We can get to 1,000. It's just as good as money. Okay. So yeah, we got to some raw animalistic. Like, is man different than an animal if he cannot control his appetite? We got it a little bit on the Palace. Remember the Palace? It was a really fun time. Gambo. If you cannot say no to something that you know is deleterious to your destiny, then what are you? Mind controlled golem? Manchurian candidate? An animal? All of the above. What do you think about that? What do you think about how it is to live by the second? Yeah. What do you think to be? How do you think it is to be too fast for time? No time for time. Live life by the second. That's what it means. If you don't live life by the second, you're an animal. What do you think about that? Robert Moore. There's a nice collection of all of his works on divine archetypes and such. A big audio and video collection it should be around somewhere, right? Like 15 gig or something. Anyone familiar with that? That's around? I would get it if I were you. Now, I haven't listened to one thing from it. A disclaimer. I'm not going to pretend. It's so good, I don't even want to listen to it. I mainly don't listen to it because I don't have enough room in my head. So, I would just get it before it is gone. Live life by the second, and then what? Feeling kind of silly, thanks for the 2 bones. Live life by the second, and then what? Is that the purpose? How can you glorify existence itself? I don't know. Maybe this is just a salt mine. Maybe this is just one big salt mine, and all of the sacred texts are just instruction manuals on happy, good slaves. I don't know. That's a scary thought, though. The problem is, a lot of what I've been reading in the sacred texts in regards to chastity, no sexual expenditure outside of the procreative, and now that is just a guess at its definition, how it's defined in other books and things that I have that are hitherto unknown to me. These things get bad. Language gets poisoned in movies and TV and music and everything. Anything spiritually related will sound like, prison sissy language. Things like chastity or I don't know what else. Don't even know. Those things seem silly. Retention. It seems silly. It has a thickness to it that degrades it. I can't quite put into words. Anyway, I would say something that refutes the purely slave theory of all of the rules that we get, in that a mystical or spiritual interpretation of these regulations and rules lead to what we've been talking about today. If it's just surface area that you're glossing over, it's not going to work. Tankademon, 15 bones. Read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Already, it's time to explore the real stuff, the sincere tools of spiritual growth and overcoming demons. I hear that. I bet it's good. People have been talking about that for years and years. I hear you on that. I definitely do. But none of those books make a difference. I wouldn't say don't read them. I'm saying for me, you go where the Lord is, and you go where the highest evolution is, and that brings you to the gates of heaven. So I feel that these spiritual issues and intellectual issues and issues of the body must be approached with what is supposed to be a highly functioning faculty of man and woman's mind, of the spiritual, the triune. Just like the Creator. Don't ask me to understand what the triune of divinity is. It's weird to me. That stuff is so weird. Like even like making signs and stuff, that is so weird to me. Weird, 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 weird. Weird, weird, weird. That's all very weird to me. Worshipping things that are different. Performing things that are different. I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't understand it. That's all. So, you're supposed to have a path to evolution, but you have none in this society, in this civilization. Therefore, it is not a civilization at all. I'll ask again. Is a man or woman who cannot at all times completely control their appetite, the snare is seeing these deviations as a small thing. And I'm not here preaching that things are big or this or that. I'm really not. I'm just trying to see the bigness that is too big to see. The highest form of yourself, the perfect self, the highest form, not even self, because it's comparative. And I try not to use those empathetic examples. That's why I say man or woman, mankind. At the most perfect expression, a man or woman is a person that does not deviate from the perfect. To not be in control of your appetites completely, though I know things make it hard. Hypnosis, witchcraft, parasites. I get it. I get it. I'm looking for absolutes. A being who does not, a being who does deviate from being perfect is an imperfect being. But it's not like we're all trying to be perfect. Just looking at these things that have been hidden from us. You have to look for these things because they've been hidden. Unless you feel that you're just an ant in a grain of sand that goes on for 1,000,000,000,000 miles. And, oh yeah, if a type 3 civilization flew around next to our planet, they would probably just not even look because we're that small. Really. So says some freak. Some freak from the upper echelons of academia. Like the stream? Gonna take his word for it. He's going to islands. He's going to vacation on unsavory islands. I'm listening to them talk about what their theories of civilization and space are. But you see how it's obfuscated? You see how it's hidden. And it's beaten to death and it's built into huge landfills, huge pyramids that mean nothing. The progress of civilization, according to these nerds, is strictly the technological. Strictly the technological and the transhumanistic. That is their definition of evolution. It's not mine, though. My definition of evolution, which I'm exploring recently, is I'm sure it must be defined by the sacred text, and I've seen it's heavily annotated, heavily noted. And I know that a lot of the Greeks spoke of elements of society and elements of humanity in these regards. Though I have studied very little of the philosophy and all that. I only did the literature. I'm too stupid. I don't care. I'll get to it right now. Too lazy. I don't know. I loved the literature so much and the professor so much. Why would I take a class on something else? He's talking, well, it's a logical fallacy. I'm like, yeah, right. But I'll tell you, I could use a little bit of education, a little bit more. It's been a long time since I've had a brain that was only half pickled. So, that's what you're up against. A true definition of the perfected man, perfected woman. A balanced image of God that lives and expresses for the glory of creation and that doesn't go into the mind or the body too much or in unclean ways, or I mean, who's to define those? In ways that are not completely advantageous to destiny and to perfect end game position. That's all. I'm just looking for those things, thinking of those things. I'm gonna need some chalky. Hot is a nightmare in here. Need something to chill my bones. Interesting. That our final form in summation. That our final form. Just nutty light. Just nut man, and 50 houses and 100 cars and all. I mean, is that why? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's a slave planet. I don't know. No idea. How much capability is hidden from us? I have to get some cream and some chalky. Otherwise, I'm going to be in hell. Get it right now. I just ran into ream seed. Oh boy. What even happened? Things get creamy when you add cream to it. Well, let me see here. We tackled everything good here. Everything on my list we tackled good. Now, we might have to see what's going on in the news. What's it going to be? We've already tackled everything we need to. We can just go to bed. Anyone dream up any new perversions they want to have playing in their head? P. Diddy? Get Yours? His new track? Oh, okay. Yeah, people don't really get that stuff, though. I keep forgetting that everyone hasn't been here for freaking 8 years or something like that. You know these systems. Gatekeepers to an industry. Ways, little mystery, little secret societies. People that are allowed to have lots of influence in a secret society in one way or another. We get that by now, right? Not going to worry about who had to get theirs. We've all heard it before, right? Birdman and all that. Hey, that's fine. Quincy Jones, right? Those guys are classic. Hey, they're in the upper ranks of their club. Never have you seen Manchurian Candidate? You don't know how the world works? You thought that everyone was not a golem or an NPC? You thought the people especially that are idolized and worshipped, you think they're in control of their lives? You think they're in control of the things they say? People, it's crazy what people believe. Know that there are systems to control. There are systems, okay? Nimrod's system is multifaceted. There are controlling mechanisms that gate out people that would be a problem. You guys get it. And I don't know, what's he doing? Baby oil? Again, the things that I'm reading, even about Vince McMahon, they're Disneyland compared to what really goes on. Just like I wish I had the example. I don't have the exact example, but it was something to the effect of alluding to the society and how wrecked it's going to become. And the joke, I'm ruining this so bad, but the joke was, it's just not even a joke anymore. It's just nothing. Something to the effect that the times that you'll be living through will make Nazi Germany look like Disneyland, which is so funny. So I figured I'd mention that. What's this? I figured I'd mention the hell out of that. Now, why did I bring that up? Oh, abomination. Like the stuff that you're privy to. And it all gets normalized and it all comes out at some point. To what ends, I do not know. It's to the same effect. It's just a funny joke. Disneyland is a funny joke. What is this? Yo, Valor. I'll get to you in 1 second. Business, company, network. Coming in from from a minute in the cold. Remember the man who came in from the cold? Was it Len? No, John Le Carre. Was it Le Carre? Le Carre? I think he did that one, right? Yeah. George Smiley. Richard Burton played him. When you're out there doing field work, you're in the cold. You were never cold, though. The realest G ever. 50 gifted memberships. Really appreciate that. Business Company Network has been real. Just the realest. Has been a real realist in this community. A man that makes things grow. Yo, Terry, what's up? Makes things grow. Yeah, it's nice to see. Really love it. Disneyland. I guess I completed that. Damn business. Been a minute. Hey, we'll have a minute. Hopefully we'll be seeing you soon. I'm just the minute man. Valor, Yost, thanks for the 20 bones, pal. Hey, Charles, I'm a huge fan of yours. Hey, thanks. I saw you and the rest of the crew in Chicago. That was the greatest night of my life, and I'd just like to say thank you for that. Thanks. You're welcome. You guys are my heroes. I said house. Also, are you whoa? Are you a fan of John Mouse? Absolutely. Hey, thanks so much for that, pal. You mix it with cream, and it's just you can eat a dessert without having to have a dainty fork. Okay. Thanks again, business. Yost. All right. Red. Cell. Thanks for the 20 bones. Hey, Charles, any advice on dealing with a feeling of deep emptiness? I guess this is all related. Not even of bad things. I make good money, have a girl, but I wake up feeling gray and empty. It's just nothingness. Like what Bilbo said about feeling thin. That's crazy. Yo, Business Company Network. 7 months, man. Reporting for duty. I don't. Things are usually, I would put forth, amplifications of short circuiting in oneself. I'll say that. Okay? When the mind is too strong or the body is too strong, I don't know what case when the spirit is too strong. I'm just putting these things forth. Because tips are for. You know what tips are for. Ooh, that's nice. Where are we? Skankfest tomorrow. It's going to be an early one. Just the tip. Thin. I think it's. Has to be a deficit somewhere, an amplification of despair. I think nothingness and despair is despair. Have to look at it differently as not something as a state, but a position you're allowing yourself to maintain and amplifying without knowing. I just have to put it those ways in order to get somewhere. You could go the other route. You could take a walk or go to the gym. You'll hear it all, and maybe that's what you need. But I'm in a state, so this is where I go. Could be as easy as ever. You go for a walk, and I don't know, it could be a prayer book. Prayer book got me to some different thoughts. Doing my best to learn how to pray, and praying has got me through some slow-ish spiritual slow times. All right. So look for that. Maybe you have the money, you have the girl, but it's nothingness, lacking in the spiritual. It's a learning curve because spirituality has such a negative connotation and it has bad magnetism associated with it. You'll be led down paths that take time and that lead to perhaps the same place every time. Because I'm not learned in really anything. I don't know. I just find myself dusting off the ancient truths and not the new rehashes. That's the way I see it. Gambo style. Okay? So I would say that. Just trying to give you something good, red business again. The salute to those who serve, which is all of us. If your destiny and your birthright is being somewhat kiboshed through the realms of the mind and the body, I'm going to put it that way, at the detriment to the spirit, then you are not a civilian anymore, and perhaps never were. That is perhaps why life is considered so unfair, is because that there are no civilians. Well, it's as good a reason as any. Yeah, red. I think the spirit. I try to get to these things, but you see how I'm getting at these things. It's things aren't exactly coming out plain. I try that they should, but spiritual warfare. The spirit is lacking. This isn't even a civilization. It's no wonder people are feeling empty and the despair is creeping up, which is a state of mind that refuses to glorify the Creator. I'm just putting that forth. It's a better example than a better definition than any new agey thing. Old agey. Who wants that? Anyone want any old agey? You got it. You called security, you got it. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't want to reiterate the atrocities of these times. I really don't. Just feel like getting like this. Please like the stream. Are we there yet? There's a little bit more than 50. 52. Please like the stream. Surely there's 52 people here. So what does everyone think about all that? I'm intrigued by all this that we've gotten to. Trying to think of even going more, but how can I? How can I go more than this, than we have already? Oh, yeah. Well, there's a lot happening in the world, right? There's Puff. He's got mineral oil. Guys got to get their bottoms pummeled to join the club. Like Nas said, he had to drink semen for the money, women, and cars. Remember that? I don't remember where he said it, but he said it somewhere. That's not a surprise to me. Everyone's acting like it's all a big surprise, and people make a lot of engagement, a lot of money on it. But hey, I mean, it's you do news, whatever. Not disparaging it. Just so crazy. The people. It's not the conspiracy people that have been on it for a while. It's like figureheads that come out and have gigantic accounts that came out of nowhere. Hey, I report all this news on everything. Everything that's pretty hardcore. It's really. You know, it's all so tiresome. But who am I to judge? You got to get it to the people somehow, I guess. Oh, I still don't want to think about that stuff. Weird, weird, weird club these people are in. What a nightmare. 99? Yeah. Mega accounts, Terry. Brand new one. Mega accounts. Millions of followers. They're the ones that disseminate the information. Yo. The people, they ain't coming for me. They're coming for you. It's just me that's in the way. Stuff like that. Stuff that any normal person, any sane person would speak. Hey, whatever. It's not unsane. It's business. That's all. Thanks for liking the stream. That's like a nice thing. Really appreciate that. It's just business. It's a business. But I don't know what to say. Oh, God, what people talk about. Well, you see these guys, they talk about how baller and based it is or something. I don't even know. I don't even have room in my head to know. You know, everyone that's got super engagement, mega people. I don't even know how to describe them. It's just weird to me. All of these people seem so weird. Just their pasts and all that, but it's whatever. Just weird stuff. They're entitled to be weird, but I mean exceptional. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Bleeding. Hyper engagement streamer. How do you define that, Terry? It's the legacy media never ends. Just like the empire never ended, I would say it never existed. But the empire never ended. Legacy media never ended. It's always the same. You think they go away? They're like, damn, we're beat. Looks like I have to go get another job. You think that's how a military cell works? A military arm? You think that's how they work? We're gonna decommission this whole department because we're beat. There's streamers that are they got influence and they're different than us. I don't know how you describe it. It's all of a sudden there's mega accounts. They're just that good. Hey, yo, Aaron G, yo, welcome everybody. Wish we could just watch Who Mourns for Morn, the Deep Space Nine episode where Morn from Quark's Tavern, I don't want to spoil it. He dies. Oh my God! Remember Logain from 24 was in that? Oh, and even more. Oh my God. Yeah, they're just good and they organically reach kids. Yeah, they're just that good. They appeal to the youth that much. Oh really? Really? But it's always someone saying something. Yeah, it's always someone saying something and doing their revelating in their own way. That's okay. That's good, I guess. I don't know. But just mega though. Ugh. It's weird. Upgrade, you need not miss movie nights. We just had one. Friday. And we sure did. Don't even give me that. What is that supposed to mean right there? Puff Dad at your bottom again? Yeah, well, mega accounts, I don't know what I'll say about that. But we got to everything. Are we animals? I don't know. By these definitions, perhaps. Doesn't that scare anybody? God almighty. I gotta put this to bed. I just like the poem. There were no marks. Oof, hits good. Gonna have to develop that into a lifestyle. Yeah, we got that. Well, I mean, we got some news stuff, but I'm not. Yeah. Just news. I mean, talk about Alan. I mean, we kind of do need a psycho. We've had some Psycho Mantis episodes with the news when it was hot. We have. I feel like a heavy night. What do you want me to say? You guys wanted it heavy. You voted yes. Well, here your vote counts. Vote vote for bollocks. Oh, nice. Much love for Business Company Network. It's crazy, man. Hope we get to have a laugh. The man who came in from the cold Stagger. Oh no, Richard Burton did not play George Smiley, but George Smiley was in that. Don't allow me to not correct that. It's a pretty unhappy. Whew, remember Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy and Smiley's People? That's George Smiley. Remember Alec Guinness? Remember we watched that? Remember we were in a state for a couple years, a year or two. We were in a little bit of a state. I don't remember that. Woo! Spicy. Whew! Crazy times, man. I can't even think of those times. I'll go crazy. But that's George Smiley. I don't know if you guys like spy fiction, but there is some good stuff. Oh no, Tinker Tailor is especially good for real. Curtis C. Thanks for the 10 bones. I think you're over here. God, let me do it. Chuck, have you ever seen the film Under the Silver Lake? If not, I highly recommend it. I'll put it. Okay, I thought I was going to spoil it. Put it like this. There's a reason that flick was buried almost immediately after it dropped. It's too real. There's no such thing as something being too real. But I hear you. I hear you. Thank you for that, pal. I hear you. I've always refused to watch it because I figured it was going to be some sort of, I don't know, some muse magic. Some, killing some woman, killing girls and burying them in your basement and using that energy somehow. I'm just rambling. But I figured that it was going to have a dark, a poisonous, spiritual, an unclean spiritual flavor to it that I don't like. Am I wrong or am I right? Like, what is. We've gotten into that movie a little bit, but I do not remember anything that it is about. I just figured that that is the movie. Is that the movie? I'm wondering if I'm like being a dope by claiming I know what the movie's about, but I don't. But I don't. But I'm making sure my guess is accurate. That's what I'm saying. Well, my almost had Tourette's. Wow. European hospital show. Oh my God, Regret, Terry. We still haven't watched the new one. Isn't that crazy? I don't watch it till years later. That's so bizarre to me. Well, it's not like I loved Regret Kingdom Hospital. I did though. I was that crazy? Ochi, you been reading anything? Um, I'm trying to stay somewhere. Because I don't want to talk about news. I really don't. I just don't. I don't know. Maybe I'm going backwards. Maybe I gotta keep talking about stuff. I don't know. Who else is gonna get to this stuff? The gods in the basement? You mean the people? The intellectually challenged people or developmentally challenged people? They're amazing. That show is, I mean, it is it is the best. It's something that I have to watch with Eric, honestly. Ah! I'll probably write a note about it. I'll probably burn in hell about it. Yeah, yeah, he really needs it. He needs it so much that he never knew he needs it that. Woo! Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, there's a cook fire going tonight. I'll be honest with you. We've been cooking good. I'm pretty happy about the results. It's been a very bizarre experience. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's weird. It seems like I don't know. I can't put it into words. Spent. Gonna be going out early tomorrow. Going to Skankfest. Gonna be insane. Going to be absolutely insane. Curtis, was I right about Silver Lake? I haven't watched anything new. I tried to watch The Color Out of Space. I just didn't feel like it. I just turned it off. Maybe it turns. I'm sure I turned it off before it started to get really psycho. I just didn't feel like watching it. Maybe I'm just weird. I think I'm. I don't know. Who cares? Just like this bit of poetry I'm seeing right here. Whoa! Oh my goodness. This is us tonight. I'm happy about it. Gotta go to bed early tonight. Oh my goodness. Watch old movies. That's what we do. Join the Discord. Join it. See what happens. Spinal. Yeah, that might be a roulette. Yeah, it could possibly be a roulette trip, some people say. The Discord is through the Gumroad Discord, everybody. Everybody, the Discord, Gumroad Discord is where we do it. I'm going to be gone for I'm going to miss Saturday's stream and the Palace on Sunday. Coming back for a Splasher Roulette. It's going to be nice. It's going to be fun. I am going to finish packing. I'm happy we came on here and got super heavy. Oh, I don't mind talking about Ellen, but I felt like getting heavy. I felt like getting heavy. Oh, Friday, I'm going to be in Las Vegas, nasty. Yeah, so Friday, I'm screwed too. Friday, movie night. I forgot. Yeah, this weekend is a bit toasted. Gonna see what happens. Just gonna have some fun. I mean, we could try to do it, but it's not a chance it would work. Oh my goodness. It's gonna be a nice trip. Gotta get up. Not that early. I'm just in another world for a second. Happy with where we got tonight. Pretty happy. Gonna hit the old dusty trail. We'll see. We'll save Ellen for next time. It did look funny what I looked at, but I just felt like heaviness. I don't feel like celebrities. I just don't. Everybody, it's been a lot of fun. Gonna hit Vegas, doing Skankfest. Let's do it. Let's do it. Thanks for coming by. Really appreciate the love and support. Thanks again. Where are we at here? Eclipse, we got you. Okay, we got you. No, nice. Yeah, I'm really so happy to come on here before I travel. Usually I'm like, well, I mean, I've just had some alone time here, so I don't need extra R&R. But I just like it when I don't skip them. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to be, you know what I mean, everybody. So much potential. There's nothing more the Lord hates than the shirking of potential. It's a form of pride. I don't know. I know I came across that somewhere. I was just looking around. Like, insecurity is a form of pride. In that refusing to believe you're built for something or you're in a plan of the Lord. I know there's a lot of situations that doesn't seem that way. Just putting things into words. Let's end on this. And choosing, just like depression, choosing to be depressed or allowing yourself to be insecure and not saying I can do this, and like I don't have a better language for this. You don't imbue yourself with faith in yourself is what I mean. That is like kind of going your own way and shirking your birthright of your perfect self. I'll just put that forth because I meant to talk about that. I guess I didn't write it down. Wow, weird. Anyway, I'll put that forth. I'll put that forth. Yo, Aaron G. Smith, thanks so much for the 33 bones, pal. Skank it up. Oh, you got replies on here? That's so nice. Thanks so much for that. That's the thing. Depression, despair, even insecurity is under the blanket of despair, not trusting in a destiny or birthright. It's not like you just do whatever you want, say the hell with everything, and then you just trust in, just winging it. It's not that. thought that was interesting. The redefinition or the expounding upon ancient wisdom, I feel, is what matters. But it's been a nice time. I've been. Lord have mercy. I say that. Pray more. Have faith more. Just saying these things to myself. There's a level of spiritual desperation that is required. A humility is not taught. Humility is never fostered. Humility is hardly even defined. It makes things difficult. But it's been fun. Thanks so much for coming by, everybody. Yeah, we could go on about that, but not really. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that tonight. Everyone, keep it real. We went heavy just like you asked for. You got it. You called security. You got it. I miss anyone? Hopefully I didn't. Oh! Thanks for the safe travels, everybody. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be crazy. Hey, if I have half a brain, I'll turn on the phone and I'll do a stream. You know what I mean? If I'm not twisted. Hey, yeah. Remember him? Yeah, we'll see what's in store for me. I actually don't know, so we'll see. Oh, I'll do a PGL. We'll do a PGL, so that sounds fun. Check out Palace Turns 1, brand new video on this channel, just released today. Please check that out. I believe I put that out everywhere, right? Thanks so much for coming by, everybody. I'm gonna do my best to take it easy. It's falling, not being perfect, falling short. It's just things falling short of the mark, missing the mark. It's just, I don't know. You never know when your day will come. You never know when the world will end. Hey, thanks, Nasty. I appreciate it. I'm not trying to be morbid. I'm not. I'm just saying, if I'm thinking these thoughts with a relatively quality mind like me, it means that you either should be or will be. That's all I'm saying. Or maybe it's the exact opposite. I don't know what I'm saying. Everyone, have a good night. Thanks for joining me. Let's do it. See everyone soon. Have a good one.